Hey everybody, Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop again with another video about some of the vinyl that I have. This group, not uncommon. I just felt like showing what I have. Nothing that I have is uncommon either, but it's just one of those groups that most people who are into classic kind of 70s music like this group. So, and I've seen some other people quickly blow through their collection of these guys too. The group, the Eagles, first record they issued 40 years ago. This year, it's hard to believe. 40 years ago, their first album came out. I'm not going to go into the Henley stuff or the Fry stuff or any of that stuff that I have. Just strictly the Eagles. We'll start off. Let me fix this a little better so I can see what I'm doing. Not that I can see, but first one, 1972. This is the album. Started it all. The Eagles' very first record, which I need to put a plastic sleeve on. And it's actually on the original, I can turn it so you can see it, the original Asylum white label, which is the way it looked when it first came out in 1972. The next one, 73, On the Border, which kind of got trashed. It didn't sell quite as good initially. And the one single that they should have released on here was the song Desperado. And they didn't here in America. That would have been a huge hit. But the other singles, as good as they were, didn't do quite as good as probably they would have hoped. 1974, they came to America to start recording. The first two albums were recorded in England. And they dumped their producer. Wanted to get a little bit more rockin'. They came here to America. And finally, starting recording in their homeland, we got On the Border. Don Henley says this album, it feels unfinished to him, but works for me. You know, good record. And Best of My Love on this record, #1 for them. 1975. One of These Nights. Sorry, I had a brain cramp there. One of These Nights. Another typical great record from the Eagles. This one I need, the vinyl's in great shape. The cover, this is from, I mean, I think I've had this since I was like 10. The vinyl, again, is in pretty decent shape, but the cover, you know, greatest hits. The first greatest hits, with the textured, I don't know if you can kind of see it here, it's a textured eagle head. 1976, this is the, I believe at this point here in America, this is the biggest selling album of all time, believe it or not. And it's a good record. They weren't pleased with it, not from sales-wise, but they weren't pleased with the packaging and everything. Again, it works for me. A couple of different copies of this one. I'm only going to show you one. I've got my original from when I was a kid, but Hotel California, which is an absolutely wonderful record. But this is the 180-gram vinyl that I have of it. Sounds wonderful. Got the poster in it. You know, it's I think it's issued by Friday Music, and they did a really, really great job reproducing that packaging. The Long Run, 1979, or as they refer to it as the Long One, which pretty much they were killing each other at this point in time. They weren't getting along. The record, it kind of shows, it's still a really good record. 3 huge hits off of it, but you know, they weren't pleased. They decided to put out a nice live record. They weren't talking anymore at this point, but Asylum said, we'll put out a nice live record. Came with a nice poster and a good record taken from the 76, 77 tour, I believe, and the 79 tour. A little bit of both, I believe, without looking at the information and boring you. But a good record. And finally, wrapping it up, the Eagles' Greatest Hits, Volume 2. Henley was really critical of this cover. I kind of don't blame him. It's really tacky and cheesy, but not as good as the first Greatest Hits, but still, you know, if you're collecting Eagles vinyl, the commercially available stuff anyway, that would be one you'd want to get. I don't have any unofficial releases on vinyl. I have a ton of it on CD, but I'm not going to go through that right now. But anyway, until next time, everybody, peace and love.